Hey, little sis, remember that time we were sitting on the porch, the sun dipping low, painting everything in that golden glow? And you were flipping through those glossy magazines about dream vacations and fancy cars? You had that sparkle in your eye like you could almost taste the freedom. But then, when it came to actually saving or investing, it felt like this heavy fog rolled in, didn't it? That hesitation, that fear of messing up? Especially when everyone's talking about the stock market crashing or crypto going wild. I see it in your eyes sometimes, that mix of excitement and dread, like you're standing at the edge of a pool, toes curling on the cold tile. Wanting to jump in, but scared of the splash. Let me tell you, I've been there too. Back when I first started, I poured my heart into learning, but oh, the mistakes I made. I remember losing sleep over a bad trade, the room feeling too quiet, too dark, wondering if I'd ever recover. And you know what? It's okay to feel that way. It's human. But here's the thing, sis. If we don't talk about it openly, if we don't dig into those feelings, we stay stuck. We keep making the same errors, like chasing shiny trends without a plan or ignoring the basics because they seem boring. So let's turn this around. Let's not just skim the surface. Let's really explore why beginners trip up and how to build a foundation that feels solid, like that favorite blanket you wrap yourself in on chilly nights. Are you ready to dive in with me? To uncover those rules that could save you from heartache? Let's keep going, just you and me. Hi everyone, I'm Maya, your new big sis. I'm here to help you build real wealth and live the life you actually love. No legal jargon, no judgment. If you're ready to stop winging it with your money, hit subscribe and let's do this together. Penny and I are so happy you're here. Oh, sis, I've been thinking about this investing stuff a lot lately, and I just had to get it off my chest. Remember how we used to sit around the kitchen table, sipping on that cheap coffee Mom always made, and talk about everything under the sun? Well, this feels just like that, me rambling on about my mistakes, hoping you learn from them before you dive in. Because, girl, investing isn't just about picking stocks or watching numbers go up and down. It's about protecting your heart, your wallet, and yeah, even your sanity. I mean, I've been there, done that, and got the t-shirt that's way too tight now from all the stress eating. Let's talk about beginner investing rules you must follow to avoid those costly mistakes. The ones that hit you right in the gut when you least expect it. It all started back in 2012, I think it was. Yeah, 2012 when I first got bitten by the biotech bug. I was working this dead-end job at the call center. You know, the one where you pretend to care about people's complaints all day? And I had this friend from college, Sarah, who was always talking about how she was investing in these up-and-coming biotech companies. She made it sound so glamorous, like I could be the next Warren Buffett, but with a side of science. Maya, she'd say, this is the future cures for cancer, Alzheimer's, all that stuff. And the stocks? They're gonna skyrocket. I was intrigued. Sure, but skeptical too. I mean, I wasn't dumb. I'd read a few articles online about how volatile biotech can be. But Sarah was so convincing with her charts and her enthusiasm, and honestly, I was bored out of my mind at work. So I dipped my toe in. Started small, bought shares in this company called Amgen or something. Wait. No, it was actually a smaller one, like a penny stock biotech firm that was developing some miracle drug for diabetes. The name escapes me now, but back then it felt like gold. I remember the day I bought in. It was a Friday afternoon and I was at home, laptop on my knees, heart pounding like I was doing something illicit. The stock was at $5 a share. And the hype was real news articles everywhere about their clinical trials showing promising results. I invested $2,000, which was basically my entire savings at the time. Felt like a fortune, you know? And for the first few weeks, it was magic. The stock climbed to $7, then $9. I was checking my portfolio every hour, grinning like an idiot. This is it, I thought. I'm gonna quit my job, travel the world. Sarah and I would text each other updates, laughing about how we'd be rich by summer. It was exhilarating, that rush of potential. But then, oh God, then the disaster hit. The FDA rejected their drug application, just like that. One press release, and boom, the stock tanked. From $9 to $2 in a matter of days. I watched it happen in real time, refreshing the page over and over, my stomach in knots. By the end of the week, it was under $1 and I was down 80% of my investment. $1,600 gone, just poof, I cried, sis. Like, full-on sobbed into my pillow that night. Felt so stupid, so naive. How could I have believed in this fairy tale? The biotech world is brutal. Trials fail all the time. Regulations are a nightmare, and one bad report can wipe out everything. I lost more than money. I lost faith in myself. For months after, I'd wake up in a cold sweat, dreaming about red numbers on my screen. And Sarah? She was in the same boat, but we didn't talk about it much. It strained our friendship a bit, you know? Like, we both knew we'd been fools, but admitting it out loud was too painful. That experience taught me my first rule: never invest in something you don't fully understand. Biotech sounded cool, but I didn't know the first thing about clinical trials or FDA processes. I was just chasing hype, and it burned me bad. Data shows that biotech stocks have an average volatility of over 50% annually, way higher than the market average. Imagine that, sis. Half your money could vanish in a year if you're not careful. It's like jumping into the deep end without knowing how to swim. You gotta research, read the SEC filings, understand the risks, but more than that, you gotta know your own limits. I was emotionally invested before I was financially, and that's a recipe for disaster. Fast forward to 2015, and I thought I'd learned my lesson. But nope, I went and did it again with my friend's startup. This time, it was personal. Remember Jake? That guy I dated for a couple years, the one with the big dreams and the even bigger ego? Well, he had this startup idea, a tech app for connecting freelancers with local gigs. Sounded innovative, right? And he was so passionate about it, pitching it to me over dinner like it was the next Uber. "Maya, this is gonna change the world," he'd say, eyes sparkling, "and I need investors, friends and family first." I hesitated at first. After the biotech fiasco, I swore I'd never touch speculative investments again. But Jake, we were in that honeymoon phase, and I wanted to support him. Plus, he promised it was low risk that he'd pay me back double in a year. So I invested $5,000 again, most of what I had saved. The startup launched with a bang. Jake threw this big party, and everyone was buzzing. The app got featured in some local blogs, and downloads were steady. For a while, it felt good. I'd check in with him, and he'd show me user stats, growth charts. "See? We're on track," he'd say. But then cracks started showing. Competition from bigger apps like Upwork, technical glitches that users complained about, and Jake's team, well, they weren't as committed as he thought. Funding rounds fell through, and suddenly the app was hemorrhaging money. I tried to talk to him about it, but he'd brush me off, saying it was just a bump. Trust me, Maya, but I could see the stress in his eyes, the late nights he was pulling. By the end of the year, the startup folded. No buyers, no miracle pivot, just gone. My $5,000? Vaporized. And our relationship? It didn't survive either. Jake became distant, resentful maybe, like I was just another creditor. We broke up a few months later, and it was messy. I blamed myself for mixing money and emotions, for not seeing the red flags. Startups have a failure rate of over 90%. Did you know that? Yeah, according to some stats from CB Insights, only about 10% make it past the first few years. It's like playing Russian roulette with your savings. But for me, it was more than that. It affected my trust in people. I stopped lending money to friends, even for small things, because it reminded me of that betrayal. Rule number 2, diversify and never put all your eggs in one basket, especially if it's tied to someone you care about. I poured everything into Jake's dream, and when it crashed, it took our relationship with it. Think of it like your wardrobe. You don't wear just one outfit every day. You mix it up. Spread your investments across different sectors like tech, healthcare, consumer goods. And emotionally, keep your heart out of it. Investing should be about logic, not love. Then came 2019, and oh boy, the day trading phase. I got hooked, sis. It was like an addiction. After the startup mess, I was single, working from home more, and I discovered these trading apps. Robinhood, you know? So easy, so accessible, trade stocks for free. They advertised. I started small, but soon I was glued to my phone, watching tickers all day. It felt powerful, like I was in control. I'd buy low, sell high, or at least try to, but day trading is a beast. One day, I'd make $200 on a tech stock, and the next, lose $300 on oil futures. The highs were euphoric, the lows devastating. I remember this one week where I was up $1,000, and I thought, this is my thing. Bought a fancy coffee maker with the profits. But then I got greedy. Saw a meme about this energy stock, jumped in without research. Market dipped, and I held on, hoping it'd rebound. It didn't, lost $800 in a day. I was pacing the apartment, yelling at the screen, come on, come on. My sleep suffered, my work productivity tanked. I'd wake up at 4 a.m. to check pre-market, skip meals. It was consuming me. Friends noticed I'd cancel plans, be irritable. One night, I stayed up until 2 a.m. trading and woke up with a migraine. Realized I was addicted, like gambling, but with my savings. Data backs this up. Day traders lose money 80% of the time, according to some studies. It's not a game you can win consistently. The fees, the taxes, the emotional toll, it's not worth it for beginners. I had to cold turkey it, delete the apps, set rules for myself. Rule 3. Set strict limits time, money, and stick to long-term investing. Don't chase quick wins. They're illusions. It's like dieting. Crash diets work short-term, but sustainable habits build real wealth. And then 2021, the meme stock craze. Oh, sis, that was wild. Wall Street bets on Reddit, GameStop, AMC, all that FOMO. I wasn't deep in it, but I dabbled. Saw everyone talking about how retail investors were beating the hedge funds, and I felt left out. Bought some GameStop shares at the peak, $300 a share, thinking it'd go to $500. But when it crashed back to $50, I was stuck. Lost a chunk, but more importantly, the fear of missing out made me impulsive. I was refreshing Reddit every hour, joining the hype without thinking. The lesson? FOMO is a killer. Meme stocks surged 700% in some cases, but most crashed 90%. I'm mob mentality, not investing. Rule 4. Ignore the noise. Stick to fundamentals, earnings, PE ratios. Don't let social media dictate your decisions. It's like peer pressure in high school. You think everyone's doing it, but really you're just following the crowd to your own detriment. Now, tying it all together, the psychological patterns. Greed, fear, overconfidence. In biotech, it was greed for quick riches. With the startup, fear of disappointing Jake. Day trading, overconfidence in my skills. Meme stocks, FOMO. We all have these biases, sis. Studies from behavioral finance show investors lose 2 to 3% annually due to emotions. Recognize them, journal your trades, take breaks. So, rules I learned. 1. Understand what you're investing in. 2. Diversify. 3. Set limits. 4. Ignore hype. And always, always have an emergency fund first. Investing is a marathon, not a sprint. What about you, sis? Ever thought about investing? Scared? Excited? Tell me, what's holding you back? I worry sometimes, you know? And that you'll make the same mistakes. But hey, we're in this together. Laughing at myself now, or remember when I thought I'd be a millionaire by 30? I'm 35 and still pinching pennies. But that's okay. Vulnerability is key. Doubt keeps you humble. Tangent here, investing reminds me of gardening. Plant seeds, water them, wait. No rushing. My mom used to say that about life. Oh, and pauses. Like I need a moment to reflect. The biotech story still stings, but it shaped me. Emotional, yeah, but real. Questions for you. Have you started an IRA? What's your risk tolerance? Let's chat more over coffee like old times. All right, sis, that's my deep dive. Love you, okay. Little sis, your big sis homework. Take 10 minutes today to jot down your top 3 financial goals. Then, research one low-cost index fund or ETF that aligns with them. Share what you find in the comments or with me privately. It's small, but it builds that foundation. Cute, sis, that was a heart-to-heart, wasn't it? Thanks for joining me on this journey. Remember, investing is about growth, not perfection. If you liked this, subscribe, like, and share with someone who needs it. Our community is here to support each other. Until next time, stay curious, stay invested. Love you.